Okay, the video I'm doing today is really on the same material that I did the videos on last time, but I've modified my method just slightly. The numbers you see in the top right of the screen are actual student answers, and we'll have an opportunity to play with this a little bit and see where things went wrong. And I'm hoping, like all the other 4 periods had, that this period will have a lot of ahas and a lot of good questions. So I don't want anybody in the class to be inhibited. If you have a clarifying question, I want you to go ahead and ask it. And if you feel like you're happy because you finally understand it, go ahead and say it. That's just fine. That's been happening all day long. So this method's really, really nice. So I'm going to start with doing what's called, what is this number out front? Starts with a C?
Coefficient?
Yeah, this is a coefficient, okay? I'm going to deal with the coefficients first. I'm going to organize this thing this way. So I've got a 2.8, and I'm going to multiply that by 7.134. This is multiply now, it's not add or subtract. Okay, so I'm absolutely 100% confident that I'm doing it properly. And what I'm not confident of is that I won't always get the right answer. And so I want you to do the numbers along with me. I'm putting them into my calculator. So you do it right with me. 2.8. Yes, question?
In the test, are we expecting people to do it manually, or we can still use the calculator?
Oh, I insist that you have a calculator. Yeah. And anybody who has a financial issue in getting a calculator or a notebook, I can make arrangements for you in private, and I want you all to have calculators and a good notebook, okay? If there's financial issues, we can deal with them. Well, on a personal basis, not here in class. So now we got the 2.8. We're going to multiply by 7.134, and the number that comes up on my calculator is 19.9752.
That was my answer.
Anybody get a different answer? Okay, great. So we probably have the right answer, and so let's go ahead and put that down. And I'm going to just put in everything that I have. I'm not going to be worried about sigfigs because goodness knows the calculator doesn't care. Okay, they're just going to give you all the numbers that it can give you. And 9752. Now I've taken care of multiplying the coefficients, and I have part of my answer. I have 1/3 of my answer. Okay? Next, I'm going to do my powers of 10. 10 to the x. And so let's go ahead and put them in. We got 10 to the minus 3, and we're going to multiply by 10 to the 4th. Now, what do we do when we multiply with the coefficients? We're going to add them. You bet. So I've got a 4 and a minus 3, which comes out to 1. Yeah, 10 to the 1. Okay. So that's my second piece of the puzzle. Last piece of the puzzle is these guys. Okay, I have mils times mils. And what's that going to wind up being? This is unit of measure.
Mils squared?
And this is mils squared. Yep. Okay, now I can put my puzzle together. And so I'm putting my puzzle, first of all, what I got from the coefficients, 19.9752, and then okay, so that's where this one came from, and my 10 to the 1 is what's going to go down here, 10 to the first power, and then my mils is going down here. See what I mean about the way this is laid out? It's a little easier to follow on the back end when you're at home, okay? And so you know exactly where everything came from. I'm putting in my thinking on every little part. and it's really 3 parts. And since it's multiply, you know, you wind up with mils times mils. Everything across the calculation is all multiplication.
Should put not squared
What?
in the answer.
Oh, thank you. I didn't put the squared in. Let's get that in there. Thank you.
What about rounding? We're not gonna round.
Oh, we're not done. Glad you asked. So, first of all, let's get the right sigfigs. Okay? So to do the sigfigs, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this number down here with the right sigfigs. Now, how many sigfigs do I have in the 2.8? How many in the 7.143? Oh, 134. Huh? Dyslexic. Okay, so 2 and 4. Which one is going to limit our accuracy? 2. Okay, so we're going to lop this guy off right here. Made that a little too long. And now what is this 9 right here going to do?
Look at that, 19, 20.
That 19 is going to become what? 20, you bet. Okay, so we're going to rewrite this as 20.0. Wait. 20. 20 with a decimal. All right, and times, and we got our 10 to the 1, and we got our mils squared. And now we're going to adjust for, what do we need to fix up?
Look at the
Scientific
scientific notation.
notation. How do you like? Isn't this nice? Isn't it really, really clear? So I've got to move my decimal over to here to make it scientific notation, right? One number between 1 and 9, and then however many sigfigs I have. So this becomes 2.0. If I don't put the 0 there, it's not a sigfig. It might be there, but it's not a sigfig. So now I put in my 10 to the 1, or is it 10 to the 1 now? I moved it to the left so the power goes up, right? And so we got a 2, and we got mils squared. Do we have a correct answer on the board in the top right?
Yeah.
10 squared. We got one correct answer, didn't we? That's fabulous. Okay. There's our correct answer. Now, you what? Oh, mil squared. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, mils have to be squared, so I didn't get it right. But this one did. Okay. So the others, you'll notice, we just what did we lose out on with this one? What step did this one not do?
The last one. The very, very last one.
Good. Didn't get it into scientific notation. No, it did the sigfigs. But it didn't do the scientific notation. Now my point. What's my point? You guys have most of it. Just one little thing, and it makes it wrong, but it doesn't mean you don't know anything. Okay? This is good stuff. Okay, what happened here? What didn't get done? Rounding. Yeah. Okay. Rounding didn't get done, and what else didn't get done? 2 things. Sigfigs. Rounding and sigfigs. So those are the 2 things we always want to be sure that we get done. So this is the guy that we were just talking about for the video. Okay? This one, the one here and the one here it looks pretty similar, and we have the same issues. See, if we got this decimal over here, we would have this one squared, and then we'd be good. Yeah? Yeah. Like I say, almost all of it is correct. Here, when the decimal got moved, forgot to do the power of 10. That's this guy right here. Okay, forgot to do the power of 10. So left the power of 10 at 1 instead of adjusting it up for moving the decimal. So for this person, for the person that posted this number, got to remember that when you move that decimal, if you don't change the power of 10, you're messing it up. You've changed the number. Can't move the decimal without changing the exponent. Okay? And so forth. I don't want to labor that, but I hope that this is something that's making some sense to you. All right, here we go. We need more answers. And I'm going to turn off the video for this because this is not instructive on a video. Okay, here we go on the division problem in the do now. And so let's go ahead and start with the coefficients. So I'm starting here and here. We're going to do the multiplication of the coefficients. 3.22. And 7.999. We're multiplying. Okay, would you please do that with me? Let's check our numbers. Make sure we're getting the right numbers. Oh, yes, it's a divide. Oh my, I really messed up. That is bad. Yes. This is division. This is not multiplication. So let's go back and do that over. So the 7.999 is on the top of the fraction. And on the bottom we have the 3.22. Okay, now let's run the numbers. Okay, 7.999 divided by 3.22. And we come up on my calculator 2.4841611491. Are we all getting the same number? Yeah, okay. Probably we're doing it right then. Okay, so our new number is equal to 2.4841, and why don't we stop there? Yeah. We really don't need to labor that one. Let's get this guy a little bit more like a 4. There we go. All right, so there's our coefficients. And now we're in division. Okay, now let's do our powers of 10. 10 to the x. Okay, we're trying to find out what that x is. And so we have 10 squared. And we're going to be dividing by... What? Oh, I put x to the x. That's not good. Let's get that fixed. 10 to the x. All right. And our other 10 is a minus 3. Now, folks, let me give you the easy way to do this. Change the sign of the exponent on the bottom, which means we're going to take this 10 to the minus 3 and make it 10 to the third power, and then we can multiply. And when we multiply exponents, we add. Okay, and so this would be 3. Why? Because I know. Let me show you why. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to make you a believer. When we make this minus, or we multiply the minus times the minus, what does it do?
I understand the message, but why are we doing just say subtract this from this and that's it?
We're not subtracting.
So that's what we do when we divide powers.
When we divide powers, we subtract.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're minusing a minus 3.
Yeah, just put it this way. So
Okay?
when you multiply into multiplication, it's just
I just want you to see what's going on. That's all. Okay. What? Of course. This comes out to 2 plus 3. Because a minus times a minus is a plus. And so for some of you, that's unnecessary. For others, it's good to see that. And so people watching my video will be at all levels, just like we are in the class. Okay? So I'm trying to speak to everyone in a way that they'll understand. So this is going to be equal to 10 to the 5th. Okay, so over here, we're going to have our grams divided by mils, which is grams slash mils. All right? Now we can put the puzzle together. And let's get this out of my hand. Where's my eraser? This. Okay. Now I'm going to bring down from here the 2.4841 and times the 10 to the 5th, and this is grams per mil. So we got our power of 10 from here, and we get our grams per mil from here. So first off, let's get this. We're already in scientific notation, aren't we? Okay, this is our decimal. So now we have to get our sigfigs right. So let's get the sigfigs right. And I'm going to show you these side by side. It's interesting. Okay? For those of you that are struggling with this a little bit, it will really help you see the differences. So I know that because I divided these two numbers, I got to look for the guy that has the smallest number of sigfigs. Which one is it? 3.22 or 7.999? Okay, how many sigfigs is that? 3. So I'm going to start here to the left of the 2. I'm going to count over 1, 1, 2, 3, and there we are. Yes?
Why is it 3?
Why isn't it 2? Because in our last one, we had a different kind of a problem. I've got to be careful I don't touch down there because it's not lined up on the bottom. Okay, over on the last problem, we had 2.8 as our smallest. That's 2 sigfigs. Over on this one, we have the 3.22, the guy on the right here, the division problem. So the interesting thing is that with both multiply and divide, we are always looking for the smallest sigfigs.
But isn't 2 smaller than 3?
What?
2 is smaller than 3. 2 is smaller than 3.
Yeah, but that's over here on the left.
Oh,
That's 2
to the
sigfigs.
left of the decimal.
Yeah, you see, on either one, we start at the far left. Okay, on the left side screen, we start to the left of the 2-0. Okay, and we count 1, 2 over. That's why I have the decimal there on the left side, 2-0 decimal, moving over between the 2 and the 0. But that is because the 2.8 in the coefficient multiplication, that guy is not more than 2. Over here, we have more than 2 sigfigs on the right. The 3.22 on the right-hand coefficient multiplication is limiting the number of sigfigs we have over here, not to 2, but to 3. Okay? So now we're going to go down and write our new number in correct sigfigs, 2.48. And this 4 right here is not going to bump the 8. Okay? And so now we have this times 10 to the 5th, and this is grams per mil. And this is the first time all day that we've gotten 4 people with the correct answer delivering their numbers.
It's 5 actually.
What?
It's 5.
That's 5, yes, because I crossed it. 5 people. Okay? And 1, really, really close. Just didn't get the sigfigs right. That's all. So the method is working. You guys are really getting into this. I hope those of you at home find this helpful, and I will post this for tonight.